Welcome, everyone, to the Valkence Family Podcast number 5. Valkence being the creator-first organization situated around gaming, lifestyle, entertainment, all the fun stuff. Crazy that we're already on episode 5. I'm LadyEverity, here with my lovely co-host, Bite Me. And today we have a special guest, WinjaLive, also a member of the Valkence family. Welcome.
What's up?
What's up?
Big chillin'.
Big chillin', as always.
Smooth criminal, slick villain, you know?
Hell yeah. So we're just going to ask some questions, kind of get to know you, get to do a little deeper dive into who is Winja? What do you do?
Who am I? What do I do?
What do you mean? What is life for Winja?
Oh, that is a deep question. I could talk about that for a while, but who am I as a person? Well, I'd like to think I'm a pretty happy guy all around. Canadian as a physical feature. I wear pink all the time. More about me as like a person though. I like in terms of I got into things or
like we'll start you off easy. What made you pick WinjaLive as your gaming tag?
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, it was so when I was younger, I had this gamer tag and it was like LJ Gamer Time because it was my first two initials and I was a cringy child, so I put gamer time at the end. And essentially it was really hard for everyone to spell when I was a kid, and I figured that out pretty quick because everyone said LG instead of LJ. So I wanted something simple but sounded cool, and I was into anime, and Winja sounds very anime-esque. And it's easy to spell because you can just say it's ninja with a W, and ninja was not very popular back then. He was a pro in Halo, but Fortnite wasn't a thing. So I thought, hey, this is a fitting name. I like it. And there was no one else with that name. It was free on all socials, and I just I sent it.
Nice.
Nice. That's actually awesome. I like that. I like that story.
Kind of just a vibey name, I guess.
No, it is. It rolls off the tongue. It's good.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. It's got a nice story to it. I love it when people have backstories to their gamer tags. Good backstories. I love it.
What's your backstory?
My backstory? I've had this since I've been 6 years old. Ever since the Xbox asked for a profile to make a profile for Halo, I was like, well, I'm 6 years old. I'm a kid. Bite me 117. It stuck.
Wait, you made that name? It wasn't like an Xbox created?
No, I made this name when I was 6 years old, dude.
That's fire.
Yeah, oh yeah. 2001, baby. Circa 2001.
Damn, I don't know you're that much older than me. What?
I'm 27 at the end of this month.
Damn, bro. Like, I just didn't think about it. I mean, I'm friends with people that are 27 in real life, so I guess it just didn't pass my mind. When you hit your 20s, though, I feel like everyone's very much so on the same wavelength. Around that. I mean, late 20s, I feel like you've obviously developed a lot more mentally, but...
Yeah. I'm gonna have to agree with that. I'm gonna have to agree with that one, honestly, because early 20s is like, yes, I'm invincible. Late 20s is, oh, fuck, I'm getting to 30. This is life. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me about 30s. I don't want to talk about it.
Lady, are you close to...
I'm going to be 38 in October.
What?
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't have guessed.
I don't look it, I don't act it, but I'm going to be 38.
Ah, fuck acting. You just don't look it. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think acting... to an extent, act your age, right? It's like, well, I think there should be some fun in life. Because there's obviously be mature, but there's, like, a social maturity. And then there's, like, being boring. So.
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I was going to say, like, I will forever be a child at heart. Forever.
Yeah, same.
And now that I have a daughter, well, fuck. Gives me even more of an excuse. Now exactly, I really get to be a child at heart all the time. I gotta be the fun dad. Come on.
I love that. That's exactly what I want to be if I become a father at some point. Not anytime fucking soon, though. Too young.
I'm gonna tell you right now, it's easier earlier.
Yes.
Easier to have a kid earlier?
Yes.
Yep.
When you don't get tired as early.
Yo, yeah. If I would have waited into my 30s, I would have been fucked. That's all I got. Well, I would have done it, obviously, but it would have been a lot harder. Yes.
Yeah.
So
I want to make sure I'm financially stable before I do anything like that.
It's definitely a good choice.
Living in my parents' basement, I don't think that's a great idea.
Hey, man, fucking, you do what you gotta do in life.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as
it happens, I guess.
Yeah, and as long as you're supportive and you can take care of your young one and be there for it, then that's all that matters.
Well, if it happened, I would have to man up. And that'd be my choice.
Exactly. That's it.
I'm not
Man
running
up.
for milk, that's for sure. Not that guy. I'd get the milk, but I'd actually come back, you know?
I knew where you were going with that.
Oh my god.
That actually just, yeah, that was really funny. Oh, shit. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I come back with the formula.
The formula, yeah. The baby formula.
Oh my god, that's so bad. Oh, shit. That's terrible. But, wait, what? What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say when he goes to get the cigarettes, but he actually quit smoking instead.
Yeah. I was gonna say, quick Valkence Apparel talk. Just want to say a huge thank you from both ourselves and Valkence itself for all the amazing love towards the latest apparel drop. If somehow you haven't seen or haven't listened to any previous episodes yet or anything, Valkence dropped a variety of apparel. We have long sleeve tees. We got hats now. We have
The anoraks.
Sweatpants, anoraks. We got lots of stuff, and of course,
all embroidered.
and it's all embroidered. It's absolutely amazing. So huge thank you to everybody that has been super supportive. And yes, you can. Everybody can get 5% off on all of your Valkence apparel by using the links in the description, and that is that.
Fuck yeah. I wasn't sure when you were done, so I was just sitting there like, all right. I like it.
But yeah, that said, let's dive more into you there, Chummy McFuck.
Chummy
Chummy
McFuck, hey yo.
Is that a Canada thing? Because, like, I don't
Nah,
hear
I've
anyone
heard of
else
it
say
before.
chummy.
It's
Chummy?
It's a Cape Breton thing.
Okay.
I was gonna say I don't say chummy, but like,
It's-
I know what it means.
Okay.
No, there's literally, you can use that word for anything where I live.
Yeah, it could be an insult, it could be a compliment.
Okay.
Yes, literally. It can be an object. It can be anything.
Well, over here we say, "What's going on, you fuck?" And that could be a good thing or a bad thing, you know?
Yeah.
Typically, it's a good thing, which is weird. Calling someone a fuck and it's like endearing.
That's how she goes. That's how she goes.
That's
yeah.
Canada.
Yeah, you're from Canada, just
Yeah.
like me. What part of Canada are you from?
Ontario, which I mean, I'm not running through the six with my woes, but I'm definitely having a good time over here, just chilling in the suburbs.
Nice.
Chilling in the suburbs in Ontario,
Yes,
and
sir.
I'm chilling on the East Coast in the sticks,
In the sticks. I don't know if I've ever heard of that before.
the woods.
Oh, okay. That's probably 'cause I don't live in a forested area. There's so much like just open land in Canada. The amount of farms here is crazy.
But
You go
that's
driving
great.
for in any direction. It is great. Any direction long enough, you're just in farmland.
You drive
Even in the suburb area.
anywhere around here, it's trees.
Love that. But you
Trees
live
and
in-
water. Trees and water. We have the biggest saltwater lake in the world, which
You live
would
in-
be the Bredor Lakes. Live in what?
Labrador. Nova Scotia, right?
Yeah, on
Yeah.
Cape Breton Island. So yeah, we have it's all water and it's all forest. And when I went up on helicopter tours, that's all I seen was the town. Well, can't even say it's a town, really. Village. Seen the village from a height, seen where I live from a height, seen lots of water, seen lots of trees. But it was
You see
awesome.
any blue noses? Like
Did not
from
s-
the-
Did not see any blue nose.
That's
landed
what
landed on a beach, but did not see the blue nose.
Unfortunate. They tell us that around here when I was a kid, we don't have like many boats because there's not a ton of water. There's the Great Lakes. That's kind of it around Ontario. It's not ocean, so we don't see as many like sailboats or whatever. Like there's boats, but not. It's more like wake boats and stuff, for tubing and such. So whenever I was talking about like blue noses, because I was wondering what that on the the 10-cent coin,
Yeah.
is the blue nose. And I was like, where do you see a lot of those? Because obviously it's on the coin for a reason, because it's Canadian. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
Nova Scotia. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. That would be here. It actually comes here, like right here to this village quite a bit. Blue Nose 2, actually, is what it is now.
Oh, there's a second one?
And yeah, for those of you who don't know, the Blue Nose is a famous Nova Scotian sailing ship. And pretty big. Pretty fucking big.
It's a fucking huge one.
Yeah, she a big one. But it's old school. It's cool. And yeah, they're on the Blue Nose 2, I believe, now. I think it is, anyways. I could be stupid and it could still be the original, but I don't think. I think it's Blue Nose 2.
Given how old it is, I'd imagine it's probably the version 2, V2.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. Because it's gone through its age for sure.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if they kept repairing. They must have been just repairing the old one a shit ton until they were like, yeah, it's gonna sink, so
She's pretty near going down there, but we gotta fucking... Let's just let her go and get what we can out of her and continue on.
Oh yeah.
But Lauren, you may continue with the next question.
No, I'm like sitting back and absorbing all the Canada love. This is hilarious. This is awesome.
Oh, I love my country, so there you go.
America's a dumpster fire, so I can't like join into the love fest.
I don't want to get into politics, but I'm not a big fan of your politics.
Yeah, we're not gonna go there.
I don't want to go into politics, but I don't like your politics.
Well, that's about as unpolitical as I'm gonna get while mentioning politics. Just generalizing. I don't like them. Not gonna say why.
Yeah, I just
Totally fair.
politics in general is just I keep me out of it. I live my life. I want to be happy, and that's that.
Politicians don't make me happy, so fuck them.
Yes, I think everyone can agree that politicians are not good people. But segueing into more fun topics. we'll leave that aside.
Let's get back out of reality for a second.
Yeah. So what made you choose Valkence? Like, said, yeah, I want to be a part of this, and like, what drew you in?
Matt forced me.
Matt forced you.
No, I was in an org before this, and they were like really nice guys. Like nothing against them, super nice people.
Yes.
And...
you have told me this, by the way.
Yeah.
I remember
I
the
don't know
story,
the story.
so that's cool. Continue. I like this story.
So I was in this org beforehand. Super nice people. Like I have nothing against them. Still in a minimal contact with them at this point. Haven't talked to them much, but they were developing an organization. I'm not going to say what it's called. And they had some people on the roster. They didn't really stream very often. I wasn't like overly satisfied with being there, not because of the people that were running it, but more just because they ended up focusing on other things. So we parted ways, and I was like, I still want to be a part of an org. And essentially, I was approached by Valkence, and I was like, okay, I'm a little skeptical because of what I just was through, and maybe I'll just stick on my own. But if they have anything cool to offer me, then maybe I'll consider it. And obviously read over their terms and conditions and services and all that, because I don't want to get screwed. That's obviously a big thing too, because even FaZe has screwed people, so you got to be careful.
Yeah,
that was a whole scandal, so I mean, that's always in the back of my mind. And yeah, Matt contacted me, and I read it over, and I was like, oh, I really like the idea of being partnered with these companies and being more professional. And then I looked at all the streamers that were already there. So, you guys, and Matt was showing me a couple of the other people that he was talking to at the time as well. And you guys seem really chill. And I like the idea of having people that are passionate about streaming, having my back as well. It's kind of like a nice little in the back of the mind cushion as well, in a certain sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just be like, you're not alone in the grind. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do this. And then obviously there's benefits like having apparel that's being made, and the very much so professional aspect of being a part of an org. Now we're official on Twitch too with a team name. So I
that's awesome.
So
I do love the family vibe of Valkence and how everyone is so supportive. And I remember when they announced to us before they announced you to everybody else, like I kind of you know, went into your stream and just was like, okay, who's this guy? And like, the thing I loved about your stream, everyone was just like, hey, welcome to the family, welcome to the community. Like, they didn't know who I was. They're just like, you're one of us now. It was great. Like,
we pull you into the cult right away. There's
Yeah.
no escaping. Sorry, lady.
Yeah.
no, but it was beautiful. Like, you have a
Right to
like,
the cult.
wholesome community. And you don't find that in a lot of communities, so it was great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I've tried to make sure to keep the toxicity out. Like, I've had my fair share of toxic people and situations where people weren't toxic originally, and then you gotta cut them out. That's just a part of life in general, I think.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
just gotta make sure I'm on top of it and not getting too down. Because that's the thing with streaming too. It's great because you meet a ton of people. Then if you get like, you know, overly close with a ton of them, you gotta make sure you set your boundaries to a certain extent. You can't be friends with everyone. Kind of like what Ludwig says, you know.
Yeah.
But no,
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
love the positive vibes.
You definitely can't be like friends with everybody, but you definitely do meet people that are long time friends. Like,
oh hell yeah! I'm literally going to the Netherlands in October to meet a friend.
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, that's awesome. Like, Virus and Michael were looking at tickets to here to where I'm at, and he was like, "It's only £400." What the?
Virus is British. Yes.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Wait, no, £500 with a hotel. Wait, what? Okay,
Wait,
that's
that's
cheap."
extremely good. What the
Yeah,
hell?
I know. I was like, "There's no way that's real."
That doesn't
like-
sound real. What the fuck?
I was like, "There's no way it's that cheap. Like, that would be incredible."
Wait, are we
He's
allowed
like-
to swear?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't even think about that.
Oh, I curse like a sailor.
It's just
By
all means.
vocabulary.
The explicit tag is just because of me.
I
Okay.
live in a fishing village, so it's nothing but sailors.
Well, I was literally saying earlier that sometimes we greet each other by swearing over here, so
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no stress, no stress.
it's just one of those things. I think it'd be a different person without swearing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
It's like a part of who I am. That's like weird. I guess all social constructs are a part of who
Listen,
you are to an
listen.
extent,
I'm
but-
sorry, sir, but if I can't go 5 minutes without saying fuck, I'm screwed. Okay.
I'm gonna melt. That's it.
Yes.
If I can't go 5 minutes without saying fuck or having a dart, I'm fucked.
My
Okay.
brain will combust if I can't swear.
We can't
So-
go up for a rip, are you by? You know.
Your Honor, I would like permission to swear and drink smoke. Trailer Park Boys, I want permission to smoke and swear in your courtroom because I, as a citizen, am fucked if I can't swear.
Fucking Trailer Park Boys. Oh god.
You gotta love it. I miss watching that shit, all the old stuff.
I
The
like
old stuff is
Letterkenny.
good. I haven't fucking watched too much of that, dude.
I've watched like clips and stuff. I haven't seen all of it, but I love the clips and stuff.
I'm lame. I watch all the old shit and, well, not all the old shit. I watch enough stuff, but then it's hard for me to get into new stuff. So I watch all the old stuff on repeat.
I feel that. I'm thinking about watching Cowboy Bebop for like the third time.
Is it good? I haven't seen it yet.
Is it good that you haven't seen it?
No, is it good? I haven't seen it yet.
Oh.
I talk really
was
fast
gonna say,
sometimes.
no,
I'm
it's
sorry.
not good.
I also got very confused by that. I was like,
I'm
what?
sorry.
It is very good. I'd highly recommend it. I mean, it's a specific taste. You have to like anime. So if you don't like anime, then you might not like this. But just it doesn't have any typical anime tropes. You might still like it if you're into that kind of vibe. So it's like an adventure anime mixed with like action, music, a lot of cool life. You kind of think about life a lot during it in certain aspects because of certain things. Like, for example, my follower alert is whatever happens, happens. And that is from Cowboy Bebop. He's literally about to die. And he's saying that. Like,
Jesus.
So it's, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of just one of the, and then he lights a cigarette, and I love it too because the main character, his name's Spike Spiegel. First off, he's got a fucking sexy voice. Steve Blum, bro, amazing voice actor.
Oh, so you're
But-
like talking Cowboy Bebop, like the cartoon, not the Netflix thing that
The
they
cartoon.
Okay.
Oh no, she said cartoon.
made. Okay.
That's it. I'm out. Yeah, no, I don't. I've never even seen the Netflix adaptation. That
Okay.
shit was apparently horrible. So
Well, yeah, that's what I heard. That's why I was confused. Like, you're watching it for the third time, and I'm like, but I heard it was bad. So, okay.
no, I'm talking about like the anime because
Okay.
that's banging. So,
Yeah.
the music in it, oh my god, it's amazing. No,
I
but
feel
his
like anime
character
music
though.
in general is just better. Like,
No, but this is like it's its own form. So it's not actual typical anime music. It's like blues, jazz, and like scat all mixed together. It's fucking awesome.
I've been listening to a lot of Eurobeat, playing Forza.
Oh
Like
yeah.
listening to Initial
The car
D.
radio.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like listening to Initial D a lot, and that's nothing more satisfying than roasting your tires and listening to Initial D. That's all I gotta say.
I played Forza one time. My favorite thing was using the really tiny cars and then having a full-on race and setting it so everyone else was also in a tiny car. You in like one of those really small German cars. It's just really gas efficient but really slow.
Yeah.
Gets up to about 60 kilometers an hour and then caps out.
And then just cuts.
That's my
Also,
favorite experience.
LadyEverity, this is super random,
oh boy.
but I straight up messaged you, and now that I'm thinking about it again, Tuck Everlasting.
Oh, right. You know what? I looked
This
at that. I
is-
meant to respond to it, and then I forgot.
This is segueing back to episode 4, okay? Because Winja, I assume you must have grew up with The Outsiders in school.
The Outsiders?
yeah, the
Yeah.
book?
Mark? My dyslexic ass doesn't read.
Fair. That's fair.
The Outsiders movie?
No, I've never even heard of it though. That's the weird part. Normally
Oh,
I've
so
heard of
good.
it.
Okay, wow.
So good.
Wow. Okay, that's
You're
weird.
home.
That's
The
You have
Insiders.
no. Oh no. Okay.
that-
Oh my God,
Yeah,
I'm having a
that's,
heart attack,
that's
sorry.
kind of weird. But yeah, Tuck Everlasting is the other book and movie that we had to watch back in school, back in grade 5.
Yeah, that one I
Uh,
didn't have to read.
Yeah, that one was really good. Like, it was up to par with The Outsiders in my opinion. I really, really liked it.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to.
just
I might
looked
have
it
to
up.
read it.
No fucking clue.
No
And that's weird
No-
because I've
no-
normally heard of stuff like
clue
this.
on The Outsiders, no clue on the other one. Well, Tuck Everlasting, that one's nobody fucking remembers that except for me. Like, I don't even know how that came into my head the other day, but it came into my head when I had my daughter, and I immediately grabbed my phone. She was good in her bouncer, and I just immediately grabbed my phone, messaged Lauren. I was like, "This is what it is. This is what it is. I remember." So yeah, segueing from episode 4 all the way to episode 5, I finally remember.
I'm looking at the cover of this book, like The Outsiders, and it looks like I'd pick it up from like an old drawer that I haven't been in a long time in my parents' house.
Yeah.
Smell it.
Yeah.
It looks like it would smell musty, you know?
But it was so good.
It was so good.
It was
the
so
movie
good.
was the movie was really, really good too.
And like top-notch cast. You have, I think, Tom Cruise, Emilio Estevez,
Fucking Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze, yeah, Ralph
Patrick
Macchio,
Swayze's
like,
in it?
Oh
yeah,
yeah, Swayze's in it.
so good.
Oh yeah, fantastic.
Tom Cruise. Have you guys seen the new Top Gun?
No, I
I
haven't.
have not. I've not.
Oh, it's so good. I'd recommend it. If you're into like a lot of testosterone and explosions, it's for you.
Well, I mean, but yeah, I watched the old one, so
The old one's fire too.
I'll watch this one.
I still cry when Goose
it's
dies.
actually a spoilers.
If you haven't seen the original yet, you got problems.
Exactly. That movie's from what, the fucking
I think it was from the
80s or
80s
90s?
or 90s, yeah.
80s? Yeah.
80s.
80s, I think.
80s, I believe. I believe so.
I have a
It's been a
Google.
long ass
I'll find it.
time.
All right,
I love
you
all of the
find it.
movies where they wait like a long ass time to make a sequel to it. Right? They did it with The Incredibles. 20 years later, they made a sequel. To be
Yeah.
honest, though, the second Incredibles was not nearly as good as the first. But
Honestly,
that's just my opinion.
I actually really liked it. I was surprised that it held up as much to me.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to please me when it
Yeah.
comes to stuff like that. And to me, it actually lived up. So I was like, you know what? I'm satisfied. Okay.
I guess the Incredibles is just so iconic for me because like there's so
Excuse
many
me.
lines that are just quotable, you know, from the original. And I don't remember the second one that well, so I think that's, and also there's a nostalgic factor there. Like I'm obviously biased
Oh,
because
yeah.
when I started to grow up, like I grew up with the Incredibles. That was something I watched when I was like 7.
Yeah.
You know
Oh,
what
yeah.
I mean?
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's something
I'd
that's
watch
just
that shit.
ingrained into my brain, especially
Yeah.
because my family owned an SUV, and there's a screen in the middle, so me and my sister would just watch The Incredibles or Monsters Inc. or whatever every single time we'd go for
Monsters
a drive.
Inc. is great.
Yeah, dude, I love that.
I still haven't seen that one.
What?
I know.
What?
That's like
I
top
don't-
tier movie. That's a
Yeah,
top tier movie.
That's wait.
Even
All right, Lauren.
Monsters
That's like
University, also
that's
top
like
tier. Personal
missing-
opinion.
that's like missing the Outsiders.
Okay, I'll remedy that this weekend.
It's literally Monsters Inc. is so good.
I could talk about movies forever, I swear.
Oh, the last episode we were going on about movies like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Movies, games, all that stuff. We could do episodes on music. We can do episodes on consoles, everything like that. But
talk about a
you know.
musical movie. I mean, Elvis, that Elvis movie that came out.
Yeah,
Have you guys seen it?
no.
You
There's
guys
a
big
new
Elvis fans?
There's a new Elvis movie that came out.
I'm not
Yeah.
a huge Elvis fan.
No? Oh,
No.
okay. Okay, well, if you guys like Elvis, or if you're into him, like the audience, I couldn't recommend it enough. It's like a top 3 movie for me, easily. I'm a huge movie and like especially music nerd though. Like if I had to choose between music, here's a good dilemma. I did this really fast because I saw this online the other day. It was a question. It was like if you had to drop one of these two things. Obviously, most people have these prominently in their life at some point in time. If you had to drop music or movies, what would you drop out of your life forever?
Oh shit.
Fuck, that is really hard.
Mine was easy, and I love both. I instantly would drop movies. I listen to music too much. I love it too much. It helps me through too many things.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that. The problem is I read so much. Like watching movies, just seeing like what I've read come to life is it hits me in a certain way. I don't know.
No, that's fair.
The thing is with me, if I dropped music and went with movies, I would probably find enough movies eventually to create entire songs.
That's fair. What if you couldn't watch anything like I don't know.
If I couldn't watch
with
musicals,
good
that would be
Yeah.
a problem.
If
That
I
would be a
couldn't-
problem.
Well,
Like
if I
you
couldn't watch
Baby Driver or something like that.
if I couldn't watch movies with music in it or anything like that, then yeah, I would be dropping the movies for sure. Music is definitely important.
Well, yeah, the score makes the tone of the movie. Like, have you seen where they do scenes and they overlay different music on top of it than what was originally there, and it like completely changes the tone of the scene?
Oh,
like-
of course.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So they say that I went to broadcasting school, which is like general for just like we learned a lot of stuff about broadcasting and entertainment when I was there. And one of the things we did was an audio class, and the main rule of video is that the audio is the most important thing.
Yep.
Yep.
Which is funny because obviously people would think otherwise, but if you have
No.
bad audio, then you can't watch the good video because a lot of the time audio is the more important. But if you have good audio, for example, that's why podcasts work. You don't
Yeah.
need a visual. You can just have good audio. So,
Yeah.
Exactly. That's 100% correct. If you don't have effective sound designs or music or effects or anything like that in your shots or anything like that, it ain't gonna land.
Yup.
It's terrible.
It
It's
creates
terrible.
an entire environment, like kind of what Lady said. for the
Exactly.
entirety.
It drives you in.
Yup.
Really drives you in. But well, let's move on here. Let's
We can keep talking about this forever. Like,
Facts.
we really could. We really could. I mean, we're good at fucking rambling.
Oh, that's why I became a streamer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same here. Yeah. I mean, I guess we're all good at something. Fucking right. So, moving on to things. So, when did you first actually get into gaming? And what did you grow up playing? And what would be your all-time favorites?
I love all of these questions. Okay, so I grew up and I started gaming as soon as I possibly could. So my parents, when I was a kid, as soon as I could, keep that in mind, because my parents were very like good parents and they kept me away from electronics for a while. So, which I would say is good when you're like really young. I'd say when you should get like anything, access to the internet, maybe like 10. I don't know, because that's what around when I got it, and I turned out pretty okay, I'd like to think, so.
Dude, I've been playing since I was 3 years old, so.
Yeah, so I had, if you know what this is, I had a Leapster. This might be a little,
oh, dude,
probably...
yes, I know what a Leapster is.
Yeah,
Now I
absolutely, absolutely, I know what a Leapster is, dude. That's
a Leapster?
It's old. It's old for us.
It's super old. It's that was my first ever electronic handheld device ever. And my parents gave it to
Leapster.
me. Yeah, because it's a learning device, so it tricks kids into learning, but it's like a video game.
Yeah.
So I had like this Batman game. That's the oldest game I ever had. And a NASCAR game where you have to do math in order to win. So you'd feel accomplished because you win the race, but they're actually tricking you to do multiplication.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, you just made my that's priceless. You just made my evening by saying that.
That was my first ever thing that I had. And then my favorite handheld device had to have been my Nintendo DS. So I got a Nintendo DS after that, and I was gaming from the age of probably 6 to 7 with that Nintendo DS properly.
Okay.
And I loved Pokemon. That was my go-to. I wanted Pokemon. I owned all of Pokemon Pearl, Diamond, and Platinum, if you guys know what that is.
Yeah.
Generation 4, and I loved it. Beat the ever-living shit out of those games. I'm actually doing a run of the game right now on my Twitch. Shameless self-plug.
Nice. Yeah.
And
shout out. Yeah. Go follow his Twitch. It'll be in the link.
Yeah. And so I did that for a long period of time, and that was my lifeline for a long time. So I would stay up at night. Like, this is bad. I would stay up past my bedtime and like try to catch the legendary Pokemon and beat the game. And I got all giddy as a kid. And then, you know, the obvious thing where you're clicking away and your parents come in and you throw the Nintendo under the pillow and you scurry around and then you close your eyes and I'm asleep. And obviously, you know, the parents know that that's what's going on. So like,
I tried to do that once with the Xbox, and I chucked the controller under the fucking couch, and just instantly, you're grounded.
I had that happen a few times, and I got it taken away from me because like I heard this one story.
Mine got taken away for a month. I was pissed.
Yeah, I've had that happen too, and because I was being put to bed at like 7 p.m. and at the time there was still sunlight outside my window, and I was like, "Come on, please."
Yeah, that's too early. That's too early.
At least let it be dark, you know. So
yeah,
that was my thought process. But so yeah, I grinded the ever living crap out of Pokemon. I have like hundreds of thousands of hours, maybe not hundreds of thousands, but definitely thousands of hours in that game.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole franchise, and then eventually I upgraded to the PlayStation 3 because my family got a PlayStation 3 for the living room, but it was more just for me because my dad doesn't really game. My sister doesn't game, my mom doesn't game, so it was more just for me and like some family events here and there. But I played a lot of Little Big Planet and Lego Star Wars, if you guys know what that is.
Oh yeah, I played a lot of Lego Star Wars.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I did a lot of completionist runs too. So I also did Jetpack Joyride on my iPod at the time, and I did completionist. So I beat all of Lego Star Wars, got all the secret unlocked characters. If you remember, like the ghosts from Lego Star Wars and all that. So like Anakin's ghost and Yoda's ghost. So those were like the really hard ones to unlock.
Yeah, I used to do the same thing, man. Just grinding every screen to get as many bolts as you could. As many nuts and bolts as you could. Yeah, the studs, thank you.
Yeah, they're called studs. I'm such a nerd about this. I ended up getting True Hero on all of the levels, including the bonus
bolts,
ones.
Nuts and bolts is Ratchet and Clank, sorry.
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank.
I played a lot of Ratchet and Clank.
I was a completionist in like all games I played as a kid, which is different to now because I don't actually play that many adventure games. But Little Big Planet, I was the same. I got all of the levels 100%ed all the way through, got all the secret unlocks and all the little bonus levels unlocked with the keys and such. That was probably by far one of my favorite games as a kid. And then eventually I evolved into Call of Duty, which is kind of where I am now. I just never grew out of that. So just shooter games in general, I should say. Maybe not specifically COD, but I got Black Ops 2, and then I started sniping, and that's when I really started to want to become a content creator. When I really got into that, that was around when I was 12. I begged my parents to buy me Black Ops 2 because they were like, no, like it's violent and all that. I was like, oh, but all the kids, and I just moved schools, right? So all the kids at my school were playing it, and I was like, well, I want to like fit in, and eventually they caved, and I got the game, and became a professional quickscoper and joined FaZe, or Valkence. So that's my story. I'd say my favorite game of all time. Probably, there's like, all of the games I just named have to be up there. I would say
I'll give you two. I'll give you two.
Two? Okay. Pokemon and Call of Duty.
All right.
Little Big Planet's a close third, very close third, extremely close.
Okay.
For just nostalgia's sake.
I can see that. Yeah. I've never played that game, but I've seen lots of it, and it looks very good. It looks very fun.
They have a 1, 2, 3 in karting, and I beat all of those games all the way through. It was lit.
Yeah.
I used to love that game so much that I had this is a good story actually. I had an old TV because I wanted the PlayStation in my room because eventually I moved it out of, I weaseled my way into moving the PlayStation, so I was the only one that played it out of the living room and into my room. And in order to do that, we had a really old gray box TV. But it was like a flat screen for the time, but this flat screen must have weighed 500 pounds. Yeah. So it's not a flat screen.
Yeah.
It's not flat in the slightest. And because of the way that the component cables worked back in the day, there used to be 6 component cables for the old fat PlayStation 3 when it was on release, which is the PlayStation 3 that I still have. So this old TV could not compensate for all of those component cables. Even modern TVs can't, because who in the living fuck has 6 component cables?
Yeah.
So like it was very much so just an early 2000s thing. And so I ended up playing through the last part of the Little Big Planet. This is how much I love that game, in black and white, because that's the only way I could get it to work with the 3 RCA jack cables.
But you can hear it though, right?
I could hear it, but I could only see the game in black and white when I finished the game.
That's better than nothing.
True. It was better
That's
than
so
nothing.
sad, though.
It's still sad, but you made it work. That's what I would have done. I would have been like, I don't care as long as I can do this and this and this, whatever.
Oh, I loved it too much. I was so in love with that game. It was amazing. And then eventually we ended up moving. So that TV must have, like I said, weighed 500 pounds. My dad ended up hurting his knee long time ago now. Like, he's fine now, no big deals. And so he couldn't lift this giant fucking TV down the stairs. So for what must have been 5 years, we had at the top of the stairs, we ended up replacing my TV, that fat one, with an actual flat screen, so that I could see in color eventually, because my parents were like, okay, fine, we'll get you a TV for your birthday.
Yeah.
So that was really cool, like a nice but cheap, but something that could see color.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that big TV though sat at the top of our stairs for must have been 5 years before we ended up moving it out. It was insane.
I would have just threw it down the fucking stairs at that point.
No, it would have put so many holes. Like, I kid you not.
I was just about to say it probably would have broke half the stairs on the way down.
It would have wrecked the entirety of the stairs and the railing and the walls, for sure.
I would have been like, where's the nearest window that this motherfucker will slide out, because it's going. And the highest window.
Pure, like, it was those, because modern TVs aren't really made of glass for the most part, right? They're made of like almost like a plastic, right? But this TV was made of glass. You throw it down the stairs, it would shatter.
Yeah, it'd blow up.
That
probably still had the fucking
explode.
The tubes probably still have the tubes.
Oh yeah, 100% it still had the tubes, bro. You turn it on and it had like that staticky thing.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, it had tubes then. 100%. It would have blew up, and that as soon as it would have, like, not blow the fuck up, but it would have, like, you inhale that shit, you're gonna find out, because you're gonna wake up in the hospital if anything.
Yeah, because it wasn't like some kind of like gas in those.
Yeah.
It's like breaking light bulbs with
It's the fluorescent lights.
Yeah.
If you break
mercury.
if there's
TVs
some kind of
in them.
That, and there's like, I don't know, there's something in them, a piece of mercury and something else that just you break one of those and take a sniff, you're dead.
Or you're just really high, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Nah, you're dead. You're
know,
fucking
making a
dead.
joke.
Like there's so many fucking tiny glass shards going into your fucking lungs at that point. It's not even you're fucked.
You're telling me you don't like inhaling glass shards? What?
Not particularly. I mean,
I'm teasing, bro. I'm teasing.
every Thursday. I mean,
Every Thursday, yeah. Maybe, you know, once in a blue moon, you know? It's my go-to.
Every Thursday, I just like to inhale down the back of my throat a fucking handful of fucking glass powder.
Oh, no.
It does wonders for the fucking body, okay?
I can imagine, you know? It actually helps with the stomach problems, you know, that you've been having. So that's why, you know?
Yeah.
Doctor recommended.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Lauren, you may segue into the next question.
Segway Steve from...
We're segueing.
Segue Steve.
Segway Steve.
I was gonna say I've been going at random on bullet point here, so
yeah. No, I think we touched on most of them. What are your plans for? What are your long-term goals with content creation and the Valkence, you know, organization? Like, where do you see yourself in like 5-10 years?
I was gonna say I kind of almost didn't touch on like why I became a creator. There, it was just my favorite game, so I can kind of like answer both of those. So essentially, I started like consuming content when I was in grade 6, which is around like 11 to 12 years oldish, and I used to watch like a lot of Tobuscus, and I loved him. I was like, this is awesome.
Wow.
I wanted to be
I
all
have
like
not
him.
heard that in years.
Yeah, he's an old name. He got canceled because of Keemstar and stuff, and it turned out not to be true. But anyway, that's besides the point. I loved him as a kid, and he was like a big inspiration for me. Him and Captain Sparkles both, like collectively. I loved Minecraft at the time, and so I ended up I wanted to make content, so my mom had an old desktop PC, just a little piece of crap that could barely run Minecraft, but it was something. And so I booted up Minecraft and used my iPod at the time with a camera, and I had Lego, so I built my own Lego tripod, and I stacked that on some books, and I stuck that in front of a screen. And then I made my cringy cutcom, and there was no cutting. It was just a commentary with Minecraft running in the background, and I was a small child just yelling for no reason, basically. But that was my first. That was my start. That's how I knew I wanted to be a content creator, and I kind of, after grade 6, I didn't make much content. I waited until I was in high school.
I want to say a funny thing. I want to say a funny thing, and I've always been like you. And always wanted to do it at an early age, but never had the funding or didn't know how to work the equipment or how to get the equipment. So I have an old, I don't know what they would be, LadyEverity. It's an old camera. It's not VHS. They're the small VHSs you fucking put into the camera. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's one of those. And it's old. And I plugged it in like a couple months ago. And sure enough, the first video that popped up was me recording the screen playing Left 4 Dead when it first came out. That's
too funny, bro. I love that.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, like, damn, that's some pre everything recording right there.
Pre-pubescent, pre good quality, you know. I fuck with that. That was my original vibe too. So, yeah, I waited till high school, and then I made commentaries starting in about grade 9, summer of grade 8 into grade 9, and that was fun. I did a lot, and then I started to gain a lot of traction, and I actually got banned on YouTube, and then they unbanned me because it was an accident. I think people were getting salty or whatever, and I got a couple manual reports for whatever reason. I don't know. I think people just are mean sometimes for no reason. And then that fucking scared the shit out of me because I had around 2,000 followers at the time, and that's around where I am on YouTube now on that account because I stopped uploading as much afterwards. But I have like 600 videos uploaded on that channel or something crazy, most of all of which are edited by me. And I've evolved a lot because it's been like 7 years since I started making YouTube videos, and then I around 3 years ago started streaming, and 2 years ago started streaming consistently. because I ended up going to work in college and I didn't have time to sit down and edit as much because editing actually takes so fucking long. Hours and hours and hours and hours to edit a video.
The worst part.
And then, well, I enjoy editing. It's just it takes a long period of time, and then if that video doesn't do well, then you feel bad, right?
Yeah.
So you're like, if you make a really high quality, solid video that you're proud of, and then you upload it, and then even if it's not like to your standard later on in life, if you upload it and it doesn't do the way you like wanted it to do, then you feel unobligated to make another video that's kind of like that. So it can be very demotivating at times, but I think throughout the years I've just kind of stuck with it. And in terms of what wanted to make me a creator, it's just because I was inspired as a kid and I want to make other people have that same feeling and same energy and kind of just, if you're sad, you know, I want to make people happy. I want to leave this world better than when I came into it, and that's kind of why I enjoy it so much. And
I fucking love that. That's awesome.
I also, like, obviously too, not obviously, but I do also enjoy just being out there, and I think it helped with my social skills for sure. My knowledge of the world has gone up since I started streaming, that's for damn sure, because I didn't know jack shit about certain areas of the world, and now I know a lot. And I mean, I've met tons of people and had a lot of life-changing experiences. Like, I've traveled parts of the world, and like I said, I'm going to be traveling in October to the Netherlands, so that should be a ton of fun. And just a lot of life. When I want to going forward, I still am trying to find myself, I think, fully as a content creator and what people want to see from me. But in the meantime, I've just been kind of enjoying doing what I'm doing and getting back to kind of that mindset of wanting to be full-time, because right now I put on the back burner to life, and that happens too, and that's completely normal. I think if you're going to be a content creator, you also need to make sure you're taking care of yourself and your actual life as it is too. For that goes for anyone that's wanting to become a content creator out there. That's my biggest tip, is don't neglect life, because then you're going to miss out on some amazing stories. But also, like, keep to a schedule as much as you can without it affecting your overall sanity.
Oh,
yeah,
100%.
exactly.
Totally.
Yeah.
So
definitely 100% agreed on that one. Give yourself a break. Commit, but don't overdo it.
Yeah, because if you burn out, then nothing's going to work. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Burning out's the worst too, because I've heard this from multiple people. They say retired people are the funniest because they're not working, they're not burnt out, and they have room in their mind to be funny. So I think that a little bit of take and give, push and shove from like life in general is good, just to have a healthy balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Jesus, my brain sometimes doesn't work, which is also why I started streaming and content creating, because like shy, socially awkward, and it was just a way to kind of like force myself to get out there. So forgive me if sometimes my brain doesn't work.
Oh, it's all good. No stress.
Oh, my brain never works, so I feel that.
Are there any like ventures that you would want to kind of delve into later on in life, or are you happy with the content creation and what you're doing right now and just kind of expanding on that?
So, delving into the future, I've done a lot of thinking. I've had some existential crises about this. Like, I'm fine, but like, you know what I mean? Like, you just do a lot of thinking about it, then you get in your own brain, and then you just kind of, holy shit, that's a lot of life.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's exciting, but it's nerve-wracking, you know? So, my ventures in life are, for the most part, for a long time, and it's stupid as much as it isn't, because I think you should believe in what you want to do, and if you don't believe in yourself, then you're not going to do well, and that's what I'm working back. So there was a time where I was like super, like I said, I was uploading every day and I was doing it, and I want to get back to that. I want to get back to that me that fully believed, you know, because if there's even a shred of doubt, then it can change the outcome of your entire life.
Exactly.
Kind of like the butterfly effect, right?
Man, there was so many people around me that I had to cut out of my life because they were just so negative and like.
Yeah, no, I feel that. There's a lot of struggle.
I won't say it, but you know, just people not thinking that it was legitimate or anything else, or you know. But
I have that exact same experience, and I had a lot of struggle to
you
tell.
cut that out, and you say fuck it, and you stick to your guns, and you do what you believe in. And
it took me a lot of balls to tell those people basically, hey, I don't want to like
it took me a
build
lot of
homes
balls.
for a living, you know.
It took me a lot of balls to just not talk to those people anymore.
Yeah.
Mind you, they didn't talk to me anyways, but I mean, yeah.
Here's my thought process, and this is an NF quote. It's not my quote, but it's something I like to try to live by, and it's every day when you wake up and think you'll never be great, you'll never be great. Not because you're not, but the hate will always find a way to cut you up and murder your faith. And faith is relying to God in that sense. I don't believe in God, and if you don't believe in God, then I just think of faith as in faith in yourself. Having self-faith, which is basically just self-belief. So that's kind of how I take that quote, and I kind of try to live that on my daily basis. Even on the days where you're feeling down, you can try to make yourself feel better. That's why I'm saying with music, dude, that's why music is a tenfold for me, because I take life lessons from other people's pain. Because weirdly enough, you can have a song that sounds happy as shit, and if you listen to the context clues of that stuff, it's actually just a lot of life lessons that person is putting passionately into a song, of in which sometimes aren't even happy but have happy connotation because they've gotten through it, which I think is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I definitely agree. People don't actually like embrace and really listen to the lyrics of some songs, and like they're not actually getting the message. They're just like, oh, this is a happy beat and it sounds like it's great, but like there's real pain in that that you're not paying attention to. Yeah.
So, I got one for you. I got a question for you.
Yes.
Favorite band of all time.
Can it be? Is it like band/singer or just band?
Yeah, band/singer. I'll give you two. I'll give you another two.
Okay. God, this is so tough because I love so many. Like I'm in love with so many artists, and it quite literally can change on the daily for me.
I'm just thinking like, what would be your top? Because like one of my tops, I have their logo tattooed on my fucking arm. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh God. A single artist is going to be a lot harder than bands, because I feel like bands, there's a lot less modern bands than there is old school, but there's also a ton of really good old school bands. Because like I like rock and stuff like that, and the punk, so like Green Day and
I love Green Day. I love that you said Green Day.
Yeah,
like there's a ton of really awesome. I'd have to go through my playlist, because then there's like single like artists like Frank Sinatra, Elvis, even people like NF, like I said, Logic, rappers that are just really good at what they do. Even like there's always a place for funny stuff. Now these wouldn't be my favorite, but things like Young Gravy or Baby No Money, there's always room for artists like that. And Katy Perry is a great one. So many, bro. I don't know. I don't think I can choose.
I think your brain's about to explode trying to choose. Like
there's another good band at AJR.
I'll tell you my top band. My top band, and it's because my top band. Okay, I'll tell you this. My top band comes from Halo 2, because there's a mission in Halo 2, and this comes from 2004. Going through, and you get into this big room, and all the enemy types. Pretty much almost all the enemy types in the game are fighting each other in this big room, and Blow Me Away by Breaking Benjamin starts to play as you enter the room. And it took me a couple of years to figure out who they were, but once I did, that was it. Breaking Benjamin is my top tier #1 band of all time. That would be the logo I have tattooed on my arm.
That's fucking sick, bro. I love that. I love that it's got like a lot of meaning behind it too. I guess I just have a lot of songs that have a lot of meaning. I could pick a song that's consistently always great, because it's like it's one of those upbeat sorrow songs, Mr. Brightside by The Killers. That song is always a banger and will always be a banger.
Okay. All right.
So, if I had to choose, I guess that's like, The Killers aren't my favorite band by any means, but that is one of my favorite songs. And there's multiple reasons for it, but one of the reasons I can remember clearly, and like, I don't know, Billy Joel's great too with Piano Man. Fuck, there's so many. But with The Killers, I was at my prom, and it was kind of just, I went on a blind date, never letting my dad choose my date again. Mistake. And she was super nice. Like, I'm not trying to be mean. She was very sweet, but she didn't talk, and I was just trying to be my goofy self. And you know me, I'm just very bubbly in that sense. And she just didn't. She didn't talk at all the entire time.
I'll I
I'm
would have
very,
walked
very
away.
reserved. Yeah, it was just
I
an
would've been
extent where I
like,
just kind of
"I'm
was
sorry,
like, okay.
but I'm
I
sorry,
couldn't
but I gotta
leave her
go."
there though because I drove. So
Oh, my
Oh yeah,
She was
I would have
intimidated
been.
by the enthusiasm.
yeah,
I would've-
I think she might have been, and it was just
She was
unfortunate.
intimidated by the enthusiasm.
I'm trying to give her
Anyway,
a helping hand. Like,
that whole night was a pretty just not great, not the way I wanted it to go.
Yeah.
And that whole night, like the DJ was fucking horrible too. So he would remix a song halfway through when the good part of the song came on, right?
oh, that's
Yeah.
So
frustrating.
like
Yeah.
he would play like "You Like to Move It," but then like as soon as the Physically Fit came in, he would remix it to a different song. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
yeah, exactly, right? Like that's one of the best parts of the song. What are you doing?
Yeah.
But the only thing
Yeah.
he didn't do that with was the last song he played of the night, and that was Mr. Brightside. And me and my buddy were just sitting on the curb because you could hear it from outside. We were kind of just like, we both had kind of a similar experience. We were kind of just sitting there like, you know what, man? We'll always have each other, bro. And it was kind of like a bro moment, and I'll
Aw.
never forget that. So it was just that song kind of has like special vibes about it, you know?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was awesome.
What
So-
about you? What about you, Lauren? What would your number
I-
one be?
This might be a cop-out answer, but for me, like Metallica.
Ooh.
Metallica is one of those bands that, for me, if I'm in a shitty-ass mood and I just need something angry, Metallica. If I'm in a great mood, I just need something to, like, rock out to, Metallica. If I'm, like, feeling depressed, Metallica. Like,
Metallica.
there's a song for every kind of emotion I could ever have.
I
their
listen
stuff
to
never gets old.
I listen to Whenever I May Roam by Metallica a
Yeah.
lot. I really like that song.
Like, Nothing Else Matters is probably
Yeah.
one of my favorite songs.
The amount of times I should have gotten a speeding ticket on my speed bike because I used to listen to music on the speed bike, like on the street bike. And of course, what did I play? Metallica. And you don't drive slow when you're fucking listening to Metallica.
No, you
okay?
don't.
Oh, when you're
You know.
bumping to a good song, bro, I have to
Yeah.
pay attention.
I
Because there
could drive,
literally are
like-
times where I'm going 30 over, which is like enough to possibly lose your vehicle, and I'm like,
Oh man,
Yeah.
hey,
like,
dude,
I
come on, you
was
slow down.
I didn't have a very big bike. It wasn't that powerful, but it was enough. Like, I made a fucking racket. I drove everywhere, and that's all I did was listen to Metallica. So yeah, Metallica is a good choice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Metallica is a very, very good choice.
But I'm also a theater nerd, so give me a musical and I'm happy. Any musical,
Hey.
I'm happy.
It's a hard knock
Nice.
life.
Even that one, I can find like a mood that I'm in that I can rock out to Lil Annie.
Annie would have been better if it was just Hard Knock Life on repeat.
What, you don't want the sun to come out tomorrow? No.
I guess that's okay. If Hard Knock Life was the best part, and if they had no more music in that, I would have been okay. Honestly, I think it might
That's
have
fair.
made the movie better. In my opinion, obviously, it's different for everyone.
No,
Yeah.
that's fair. I mean, from like, Les Mis will always have a special place in my heart just because it was the first one I saw on Broadway. Like, so I will always appreciate that musical. But
So
like,
is that your second?
that might
Are
be
we-
my second. Yeah. I
Yeah.
lived through high school, like, replaying that CD on loop. Like,
Okay.
that was...
My second, I have two of them, but they're the same thing basically. It's Kill Switch Engage, and now that Howard is gone, the main singer that used to be, now that he's gone, but the singer that come in is also still incredible, so I still listen to them. So it's Kill Switch Engage, and Light the Torch, but it's mainly for Howard Jones. Howard Jones is such a phenomenal singer. It blows my mind. Like, he's 51 years old and he's been making music for I don't know how many years now, but he sounds the exact same. His voice is gorgeous. I love it. So, yeah, just Kill Switch, whether it be on Kill Switch Engage or Light the Torch, his new band, Howard Jones, yep, number two in my books, hands down, easily. What about yourself, Winja? What are you thinking there for your second?
For my favorite solo artist, oh dude, there's so many. That's the problem. There's like my brain, like Lady said, it could just explode with how much music I listen to. Like I find emotion in all songs, right? And I'm very much so just kind of like that, like happy emotion, sad emotion. Like I fuck with all of the vibes that music give off. Even like I don't know. I've jammed out genuinely when I used to play hockey. There was times where I would jam out to Mozart, and I'm not joking.
Yes.
So
Yes. Fuck yes.
it would get me pumped up before games. Sometimes that sounds weird. It wouldn't be always. It would just be like, you know, if I was like,
No,
hey,
I
maybe
get
I'm
you.
like a classical mood. It's not as much anymore for me, but at the same time, I will literally. I respect that kind of music. I think the only thing I don't listen to is opera. I don't listen to opera.
Oh, but
That's
opera's
about
so
it.
good.
I've been
It is,
listening
I
to.
just-
I feel you though, Winja, because I've been listening to a lot of Hans Zimmer. I think his name is. I don't know if you
Hans.
guys watch Hans. Thank you.
Hans Zimmer. Yes.
Hans Zimmer. He did the score for Interstellar,
Yeah.
and I've been listening to that a lot lately as well.
Yeah, there's even if it doesn't have singing in it, there's sometimes
It's just piano
Yeah.
and really
Yeah.
good playing.
Winja, do you
if I could learn.
do you listen to Lindsay Sterling at all?
I do not.
You should.
Yeah.
You should.
Lindsay
She's a
Sterling.
violinist that like dances, and she takes like real songs. Not that songs aren't real, but like she'll like
I know
like
what you mean.
Thunderstruck, and she'll make
Popular
it into a
songs.
violin thing. Like,
You know
it's
what's-
really cool.
That's so weird that you mentioned AC/DC. Because I was literally thinking about AC/DC when you guys were talking about old bands. What in the world?
See, it all
'Cause you
comes
guys were talking
around.
about you were talking about singers that were still kicking and had like the same voice as they did when they were younger. And I don't know what the guy's name is. I'm gonna be honest, but he has that same voice even in his old age. Currently, he's got that like very much so, and almost like an animalistic. I don't know how to describe it, but it's such a cool voice. It's unique as shit.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
hmm
But what's my favorite though? I don't know. If I had
Yeah.
to say, recent time, probably NF. Even though I haven't listened to him as much recently, he's just helped me through a lot mentally. He's
Okay.
got a lot of music that just is very emotional and also music that's gonna hype you up. So a little bit of both, and I like the rap genre a lot. So yeah, that's probably it. I don't know though
Nice.
because I love Elvis and Frank as well.
I
like
know,
Frank
like,
Sinatra,
there's-
so this-
I listen to so
This
much
goes on.
different music. Like I listen to Slipknot, Metallica, fucking Megadeth, so
Yes.
Cat Stevens, Pink Floyd, Breaking Benjamin,
Floyd.
Starset.
You ever go to old school like Creed
Crossfade,
and Live?
Creed. I listen to Creed.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man! I haven't listened to Creed in a long time. Holy shit!
Same.
I'm
Like,
a 90s
yeah.
kid, so like all that old school like REM, Hootie and the Blowfish, like all that stuff is just that's like my childhood.
Yeah, I'm barely a '90s kid. So
Yeah.
I remember the '90s very very briefly, but I do remember the '90s. So I'm happy with that. Even the super early 2000s was still like '90s-esque because people were just like, yeah.
All
grew
for
up
One
right
was
on
my
the
first
brink.
cassette.
First cassette, eh?
Damn.
Wild. My sister got a record player for her 19th, which was over the last weekend, and it was super cool because I obviously love music, so it was super cool to hear like an old record. We got the Beatles and all that. It was super
That's
fucking
awesome.
cool. I set it up, had this like stereo system hooked up to this old or modern cassette player with an old record on it, and it was like
Yeah.
I don't know, it may not be as crisp, but there's something about hearing that like
No. It's
Mhm.
it's crisp AF. That's what
Yep.
I have. I have a record player literally, I don't know, 4 feet away from me, and I listen to Cat Stevens and Pink Floyd
Yeah.
on the record player.
it's not even my
so-
gift, and I fucking love it. So
It's so good. I love records. I love
Yeah.
records. I really do.
they're so
and-
expensive now too. They're like $50
I know.
Goddamn.
I know.
or more.
Yeah, no, I've seen a Metallica one, Lauren, that I wanted, and it was $45. I was like, for fuck's sakes.
Hell
There's
no.
there's some really old records. Like there's this Beatles one where the art wasn't allowed to be sold in America, and is worth a crap ton of money if you get the album cover with that art on it in America.
I was
It's
gonna
like
say
thousands of dollars.
I have Pink Floyd's The Wall, and like the art on the inside is so obscene. It's so weird.
I love old record art
It's-
because it's weird as shit.
It's incredibly weird as shit. So I'm wondering too, like, how in the fuck did, like, I don't even know.
It must have been a
weird stuff.
wild cover because I don't even know what it looks like. I just know for a fact that that's something that happened because I've talked to people that are
Oh.
really into records.
One,
So-
it's just a big white record with, you know, bricks on the cover, except they're white bricks with black lines. And then you open it up and it's all art, and it's like crazy looking art, and you're like, what the fuck?
Someone
So-
definitely tripped out on some drugs and then drew
Man,
this.
if you see, I'm gonna have to send you a picture after this podcast. You'd be like, what the fuck? Somebody was definitely on some mushrooms or something.
That kind
But,
of reminds me of you know the song that everyone memes and it's like, if you fuck your dad, you drive a Ford. You know that song that
Oh my god, yes.
I forget what that song's called. What's
I
it
don't know
called?
what it is. I have no idea. But
No,
I heard
know
it and
the
I was like,
song's name
"Ugh."
too. I'm blanking. I'm literally blanking. But that song, if you've seen the music video, it's a bunch of line art, and it is so trippy because that line art turns like from someone driving a car, and then it transfers into like being like a woman's body. It's fucking weird. It's trippy as
Okay,
shit.
that does sound very cool.
It's super
actually.
cool though.
So, Lauren, what do you think? Shall we wrap?
Yeah, no, wow. Time flies
That's
when you
it?
were talking about fun things. Holy crap.
I was gonna say we've been going for quite a while, and it has been absolutely incredible. So once again, shout out to WinjaLive. Thank
Hell
you
yeah,
so
shout out to you guys.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode. It was great.
Thanks for having me. I'd love to be back. It's so fun that I feel like I didn't get to talk about as much as I could have.
Well, then we'll definitely
don't
have to do
worry.
this again.
Oh, yeah.
We'll do this again for sure, and we'll get some more topics blown out.
Love that.
There's
I'm excited.
Lots of topics, but you may wrap us up, Lauren, since I have last time, I believe.
No, I brought us in. You bring us out.
All right. So,
We share. That's how we do this.
all right, true. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps it up for today's episode. Massive thank you once again, Winja, for joining in. Super excited to be joining you on this crazy adventure with the Valkence family. It's fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah, but of course, it's fun to have everyone around me that's grinding the same way I am.
Yeah, absolutely. We hope you guys all enjoyed episode 5 of the Valkence podcast. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to leave us a like if you're listening on YouTube, and a 5-star rating if you're listening on Apple and Spotify. Leave a comment if you want more. Let us know things you want to hear. We take requests, obviously. You know, we want to hear what everybody's thinking. So we wanna get that on the go.
Also,
So,
I said leave a like if you enjoyed. They're this far into the video. You better leave a like. You enjoyed. Don't lie
Yes.
to yourself.
And make sure you subscribe to the Valkence YouTube page. They put up lots of clips and fun stuff from the whole family, so you get to be immersed in all of us. So
Yeah,
definitely
you get to see what we all
subscribe.
look like too.
Yeah.
yeah, you can see what we all look like. I look like a fucking idiot, but
Oh my
but yeah,
god.
I guess that about wraps it up. That was absolutely fantastic. You know what I like?
Yeah.
Turtles.
Big
Oh my
butts and cannot
God.
lie. Those other brothers can't deny. Like turtles.
Oh, I know that video. That's hilarious.
ending in 3, 2, 1.